Emanuel Langston is suffocating. The music career he spent his 20s building has become a trap, closing in on him just past midnight. The physical toll is obvious. He's running on 6 coffees, his hands are shaking, and sweat slicks his skin despite the climate control. Gray is creeping into his temples, in a room that smells like stale incense and exhausted ambition. The space itself feels hostile. He's boxed in by 2 monitors held together with duct tape. Above him, framed industry awards stare down like surveillance cameras, watching him fail to answer a single blinking cursor. He hasn't written a usable verse in days. When he looks at the mirror hung next to his accolades, the exhausted face staring back feels like a complete stranger. Long before any supernatural forces enter his life, Emanuel is experiencing a profound, paralyzing psychological collapse. This creative paralysis bleeds directly into his home life. He is failing the people who need him most. When his 4th-grade son, Jalen, walks in asking for help with a math worksheet, Emanuel completely freezes. He stares at the algebraic fractions, sweating, entirely unable to guide his own kid through a basic homework problem. You can see the exact moment the hope drains from Jalen's face. He quietly folds the paper and shuffles out, leaving Emanuel to sit alone with a crushing, acidic guilt. Emanuel believed that trading his sanity for a successful music career would build a safe fortress for his family. Instead, he has become entirely emotionally absent. His human identity is completely tapped out. He is a hollowed-out shell of both an artist and a father, leaving him uniquely vulnerable to a radical intervention. In the world of the rhythm of the broken tusk, physical mutations do not happen by accident. They are callings, carefully seeded through omens and symbols that choose a person long before they accept it. The first signal arrives through a simple act of childhood love. Jalen bursts into the studio wearing dinosaur pajamas and hands his father a lopsided, unpainted clay figure made in art class, an elephant he calls 11. This strange, innocent gift acts as an anchor. It invites an ancient, mythic weight into Emanuel's modern life, setting his physical transformation into motion. To understand what is happening to his body, he consults Dr. Okaro, an expert in comparative mythology, who introduces him to the story of the Hindu god Ganesha. As this illustration details, the Ganesha myth establishes a brutal rule. True wisdom requires a violent sacrifice of the old self. The inadequate ego must be forcibly removed. Only by enduring this complete psychic death can a new, enlightened identity eventually take form. Emanuel reaches his breaking point completely alone, trapped inside a storm-swept, pulsing cave deep in Rock Creek Park. The metamorphosis is triggered when he grips a metal elephant amulet given to him by Okaro. It grows impossibly hot in his hand, radiating a feverish, burning energy. The severing is an internal rupture, a total bodily overwhelm that shatters his previous identity without a single drop of blood. He experiences agonizing, invisible pressure on his throat. His jaw goes slack. Thick steam rises from his chest into the freezing air, and the wet cave walls actually vibrate in time with his racing pulse. This excruciating pain is the toll exacted by the universe. It violently strips away the man who failed his son, clearing the ground for a completely new reality to emerge. When Emanuel awakens, he is physically split between 2 worlds. Below the neck, he is still entirely human, his familiar tattoos marking his arms. Above the collarbone, he possesses an elephant's head, complete with vast, sensitive ears, short tusks, and a heavy, living trunk. In any standard horror story, a character who looks like a terrifying monster is expected to commit acts of violence. In the damp silence of a post-storm forest, Emanuel encounters a lost little girl shivering in a torn orange raincoat. Instead of looming over her, Emanuel slowly kneels. His new trunk delicately inspects her hand, demonstrating an incredible, gentle precision. This quiet interaction redefines the mutation as a specialized instrument for care, suggesting his new form is built for empathy. Emanuel assumes a role the myth calls a wisdom bearer. The sheer horror of his physical mutation broke his ego. Experiencing that trauma was the necessary mechanism to unlock a deep, radical empathy that finally allows him to heal his relationship with his family. To become the compassionate protector the world demands, we often have to endure the agonizing sacrifice of the person we used to be.